The year is 1899 and the place is Victorian London. Beneath the bustling streets and dank alleys lives a secret society of mice who have built their own thriving metropolis within the city as foundations. Among them is Basil of Baker Street, a brilliant but somewhat eccentric mouse detective who, with his keen intellect and insatiable curiosity, solves the most baffling crimes. Now retired, Gazelle spends his days reading the newspaper, smoking cigars, taking long walks, and driving his arch-nemesis, the evil Ratigan, insane. One day, however, the peace is shattered when a frantic young girl named Olivia Flavorsham rushes into Basil's house, claiming she needs his help. You see, her father, Hiram, is a well-known toy maker who has recently invented a new type of clockwork mouse that can come to life. It's not quite clear exactly how this works, but it doesn't really matter because, anyway, last night while working late in his shop, Hiram was kidnapped by a band of ruffians who broke into the house and took him away in a hot air balloon. They also took his invention plans, which means it's likely that someone wants to steal his design and sell it themselves. As it happens, Basil's old friend, Dr. Dawson, has just returned from service in South Africa and has come to stay with Basil at his flat above a bookshop. He's a kind-hearted mouse with a gentle soul and a deep sense of compassion. And so, upon hearing of the kidnapping, he volunteers to go along with Basil to help find the poor man's daughter. Now, the first suspect is none other than Ratigan, a notorious criminal mastermind and Basil's greatest rival. He's a cruel, bitter, and vindictive mouse who will stop at nothing to get what he wants. In his spare time, he likes to scheme, torment Basil, and stroke his pet cat Felicia, who is perhaps the most terrifying animal in the entire movie. But Ratigan's evil schemes are almost always foiled by Basil's superior intellect and deductive reasoning. That being said, Basil tends to underestimate Ratigan's cunning, which often leads to unnecessary complications. And so, after following some loose threads and checking in with a few underworld contacts, they soon learn that Ratigan was indeed behind the kidnapping, but his true intentions are much more sinister than Basil could have imagined. He intends to use Hiram's mechanical inventions to build an army of robots that will overthrow the Mouse Queen and crown Ratigan ruler of all rodent kind. Determined to put an end to Ratigan's reign of terror once and for all, Basil and Dawson set off to find him. Their first lead takes them to a series of dingy toy shops owned by one of Ratigan's most trusted allies, a shifty street rat named Morgana. She's shrewd and quick-witted and knows the dark underbelly of London like the back of her paw. Despite having little choice but to cooperate with Basil and Dawson, she seems genuinely concerned for the whereabouts of her former associate and lover, Hiram. As they search the shop for clues, they quickly discover that Morgana is also wanted for questioning in connection with a series of recent robberies. She claims that she's innocent, but there's something about her story that just doesn't add up. As it turns out, she's actually trying to protect Hiram, who she discovered had stolen money from her gang and intended to frame her for it. Realizing that she's trapped, Morgana offers to take Basil and Dawson to Ratigan's hideout in exchange for safe passage out of London. Their journey takes them through the labyrinthine streets and seedy taverns of the city, where they must evade the clutches of Ratigan's henchmen, the deadliest of whom is a massive bulldog named Fidget. Though he's loyal to a fault, Fidget has a habit of getting distracted by shiny objects, which Basil cleverly uses to escape. Meanwhile, Olivia stows away on their airship and proves to be a lot braver than everyone gives her credit for. At one point, she even saves Basil's life by helping to steer the airship out of danger. Eventually, the trio arrive at Ratigan's lair, which just so happens to be in the very same building as Basil's apartment. After tiptoeing past Felicia, who surprisingly does not attack them, they find Ratigan and his gang in the process of constructing one of Hiram's mechanical mice, except they intend to use it for nefarious purposes. One look at its menacing features and sharp metal teeth tells Basil everything he needs to know. These mechanical mice are no toys, they're deadly weapons. Basil tries to apprehend Ratigan, but he escapes, vowing revenge. As the clock strikes midnight, the mechanical mouse comes to life and begins rampaging through the streets of London, causing widespread destruction. Basil and Dawson jump into action, determined to stop it before it's too late, but they soon find themselves outmatched. The mechanical mouse is too powerful and too relentless. Just as it looks like all hope is lost, however, Olivia arrives with a squad of police mice, and together they are able to trap the mechanical mouse and dismantle it. But this victory is short-lived because Ratigan has revealed his ultimate plan. He intends to usurp the Mouse Queen by creating a robotic replica of her that will fool everyone. Using Hiram's blueprints, he's built a clockwork queen that looks identical to the real one down to her whiskers. To complete the deception, he plans to place her on the throne and then kidnap the real queen, who is attending a party at Buckingham Palace that very night. With time running out, Basil and Dawson set off for the palace, but they need bait to lure Ratigan out. So Basil dresses up as the queen and sets a trap while Dawson stays behind to guard Olivia. Unfortunately, Ratigan is too clever for this trick and manages to kidnap Basil instead. It's up to Olivia now to save the day, but she's just a small mouse and Basil's captor is a huge, mean-looking cat. Luckily, though, Felicia jumps in to save her and the two form an unlikely alliance. Together, they manage to escape and reach the palace just in the nick of time. There they're reunited with Basil, who reveals that he knew Ratigan would try to kidnap him and planned accordingly. He left clues throughout the palace leading to a trapdoor that drops Basil onto a bed of spikes, ensuring Ratigan's demise. But Ratigan isn't done yet. He attacks Basil, but he's no match for the great detective's skills and agility. They fight through the turning gears and levers until finally Ratigan loses his footing and falls to his doom. As the clock strikes midnight, Basil and Olivia reunite with Dawson and the rest of the gang to cheers. In the end, Hiram's work is destroyed, but at least he's alive. He's grateful to Basil for saving his life and apologizes for trying to frame Morgana. She's given a noble redemption arc, accepting his apology and choosing to leave London to start a new life. Meanwhile, Felicia decides to stay with Olivia, much to her delight. Then, in a surprising turn of events, Basil finds a new ally in Fidget, who leaves Ratigan's gang to join him. He wasted most of his life serving the evil Ratigan, but now he's redeemed and ready to start over as Basil's assistant. In fact, Basil even invites him to move in with him, although Dawson is less than impressed. Finally, Basil is treated with newfound respect and admiration, not just as a detective, but as a friend and protector. The case is closed and order has been restored to London. For now, that is, because Basil will undoubtedly face many more challenges in the future. The Great Mouse Detective is a dazzling animated adventure that captures the imagination and thrills the audience with its non-stop plot. It was released in 1986 to mixed reviews, but has since become a cult classic among fans of animation and mystery. Its unique setting, lovable characters, and timeless themes of good versus evil make it a must-watch for all ages. So if you're looking for a fun and entertaining movie that will keep you on the edge of your seat, then be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching.